Hello guys, it's Theo here, host of this Conquering Dyslexia podcast that you're watching, and I'm doing another episode today, and this one I want to chat kind of about what's going on, and as well follow up from the last episode. It's about like mental health and how mental health links with dyslexia, and how like sometimes that can be how mental health, because we have dyslexia, we can have trauma in our past due to our dyslexia and being different and being shown we're different. We can have some form of trauma, and some little ways we can help with dealing with the trauma we've had from our past. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you all again when I do the episode after the intro thing. So the big question is this: how can dyslexics like us create a place, a community, a tribe where people at any stage of life can come and solve any challenge, amplify their strengths, and ultimately help them become who they were meant to be, or in other words, conquer their dyslexia? That is the question, and this show is the answer. My name's Theo Goff, and welcome to the Conquering Dyslexia podcast. So guys, let's talk today. So I'm really excited for today. I've got up, I'm still in Thailand. I'm still in this, at the moment I'm in this cat hotel. It's so cool, there's cats everywhere. Yeah, you guys, there's cats everywhere, but it's quite hard to find a place where I can talk where it's quiet, and at the moment this is good enough, I hope. I'm sorry about the audio quality because there's cars and maybe people talking outside. There's not much I can do with that at the moment. But today I want to talk about a few things. First, it's about, I remember before I talking in the past about this reading program, and it's so incredible. And it truly is. And now I really want to revamp my reading, because those of you who don't know, I'm just really dyslexic, 8 years of special needs school. And I still could only read at a very slow rate, even with working it tremendously myself, reading very slow. And then when of course this program, in 2.5 hours, I learned to read effortlessly. I read 5 times more than I ever read in my life, faster, and within a month I read my first book ever in my lifetime. Within the next 4 months I read 4 books, completely fully understand it, no effort, no struggle. But what's interesting, I remember when I didn't do that like that reading program for a bit, I didn't practice my reading. Within a couple of days, well, I think it was in a week or so, I tried to read again, and it became a little hard. It became a little kind of like sticky, like, these words I couldn't read as well as I could have. And so I went back to the program. There's one little bit, it takes about 4 or 5 minutes to do. And you say these sounds, we say these sounds, and then you look back on the words, look back on the page, and the words flew at me. I remember getting emotional. I did a little video then. And so today I want to do the same thing. I've been like dipping in my toe into reading an actual book the last couple of days, and I want to commit to actually doing it, but it's been hard. I've looked at the words, and some words have been challenging. Words that previously would be easy now are challenging. Why I haven't practiced it? I have not practiced my reading. So today I'm going to go through like this little reading sort of like module, or this little sounding module out, and say these sounds again to kind of hopefully revamp my reading, and then I'll go back to a page and see if I can read the words that I couldn't read, and see if I can see if it flows better. It's hard to explain it if you haven't gone through it. It's like walking versus walking through water. It's like when you are struggling, it takes so much more time, so much more energy to read. You're kind of guessing, but when you go through this like little method, you try it, it's so effortlessly. Just like the words jump out at you in a weird way. It's like you haven't got dyslexia. In a weird sort of way. I know it sounds weird. But that's what I'm going to try today, so I'm so looking forward to that. But also another thing is that I want to follow along from like last time I did a podcast about trauma. And so one massive thing that helped me, there's so many times in the past where things happen I don't understand. There's key moments where, like, parents would say something. My parents would say something to me. I could see my mum so upset, so distraught. I could see them fighting and shouting. I remember at at school at times when I'd just sort of like be left alone. I remember how I remember spending like 2 hours, I think a whole double lesson, writing a sentence. So I look up as letter, look up and very, very, very hard for me. And the teacher's like, okay, that teacher's kind of being disappointed because everyone else was writing essays. I could barely write what was on the board. And me putting maximal effort into it. And these sort of times, I think I sort of realised, oh my God, I'm not as good as everyone else. Kind of set me up to fail in a way. It kind of made me believe that I'm not good enough, made me believe that I have to like work hard, I can never do this. And one thing I worked on, and this is very simple in its explanation, in its understanding, but doing it requires work. Doing it does require a little bit of effort. And what the key thing is to help you change these things or help you overcome this is create a new meaning for the situation. Create a new meaning. Decide for it to mean something else, because all human beings, we human beings are meaning making machines. Right now, you're sitting down, standing up, or driving, or whatever. You're creating a meaning for the situation around you. Like everything means something. Like there's a meaning behind certain things. So we have to create a meaning. Like we always do subconsciously. It's our subconscious thing that we always decide what things mean. But what we really have to work on is focusing, okay, create a new meaning for this, because when a meaning happens, we create an association. Okay, this means this, and then for our association is this. For example, I remember being kicked out of class. I think I told the story in my last episode, being kicked out of class from looking at someone's book. I thought, I should be good at looking at books. They should praise people. I know I got kicked out of class and punished for looking at a book. And the meaning I came up with there is I don't understand how people work. And then the following meaning I came up with there is that I'm not good enough. And we ourselves have to come up with the meanings. We ourselves have to look at it and redefine, okay, what did that situation mean to us? And we have to look back at our traumatic events, look back at our events that was really hard, and like sometimes we don't want to go back there. Sometimes it's so painful. It happens with our parents, happens with our friends, embarrassing times in school. Look back at those and create a new meaning. Because I always say this story, I said it in my book, that there's like these two people, I think like Sarah and Tim, and they, they're still very dyslexic, and they're both in class, and they both do the same misspelling on the board. Now, they both do the same misspelling. Now, there's like the elephant has spelled something funny. Now, all the kids in class laugh. The teacher kind of finds it funny as well, because it could be like a rude or silly word you accidentally wrote on the board. And then you get incredibly embarrassed. Incredibly embarrassed. Like tears coming down your face, you know what I mean? You can't really control your emotions, and you just sprint to the toilet, so you want to be alone, just cry to yourself. They both do this. Tim and Sarah both do this. And they get to the toilet, crying their eyes out, no one's in the toilet, completely empty. They look themselves in the mirror. And they both create two different meanings from this. Tim creates the meaning that I can't trust anyone. I'm stupid. I can never put my hand up again in class, and I can never try again because this is what's going to happen. And then Tim does that. He creates the meaning, and then he does it. He doesn't try a lot. He doesn't put himself out there. He thinks he can't do it. He doesn't want people to make fun of him. He doesn't trust anyone. And so going through life, he kind of falls into the wrong people. He kind of takes the easiest path in life because he's scared of getting things wrong or people making fun of him again. And also he's like, goes the other way. Instead of people making fun of him, he wants to make fun of other people. He wants to make other people look down so they don't have the chance to look down at him. That's Tim's story, and obviously it will end up very bad for him. Then you go to Sarah. What Sarah does, she creates the meaning that she's terribly upset, terribly distraught. She creates the meaning that I can never let this happen again. That people, like I'll never let people make fun of me like that. I'll never let people treat me like that again. And now what happens? Because she creates this meaning, and obviously she's really, really upset. But what happens is that she hates in this classroom, so does Tim. She hates it, she never goes there. But yet she focuses on something she's good at, DT. She focused on DT, like design and technology, like creating things with her hands. Tim was also really good at that, really maybe talented at that, but he didn't pour his energy into that like Sarah did. Because Sarah thought, like, I'm going to be so good at this that no one can ever make fun of me again. And Tim was like, I don't want to take any chances or try anything. So they had slightly different meanings, and that led to different actions. Sarah worked like every single day, works in it, like loved Lego at home, spent every single day creating like things, trying to understand things, using her hands. And 10 years down the line, Sarah was one of the top most paid female architects in London. And Tim would maybe be like in a low end job, really unhappy, but yet too scared to do anything about it. Now, I'm not saying that Tim's a bad person, or I'm not saying that he's like a loser or anything like that. I'm just saying the meaning matters. The meaning matters in what we say. The meaning matters in situations, because that creates how it affects us. And what we need to do is look back in those traumatic situations and create a new meaning. Because maybe that person isn't mean, horrible person. Maybe you aren't dumb. Maybe you're not stupid there. And we go, maybe not. What else could this mean? The secret question is, what else could this mean? And your job is to come up with an empowering meaning for that. Empowering meaning of what else could this mean? And like, okay, what else could this mean? Instead of the kids, like the teacher kicked me out, what else could this mean is that maybe this other kid was really precious over his book, and then he told the teacher got annoyed at me because maybe she was having a really bad day. That's why I got kicked out of class, for me personally, and that's the meaning that I changed. It's more accurate meaning, yeah, it's more true, it's nothing negative towards me. But so many times we can be so self-focused in what things mean, so many times we can make things so personal. And actually the way that they were behaving was basically nothing to do with you, it's to do with them. It's like, this is what I do now so often. When other people are annoyed, when other people are frustrated, when other people lash out or do things, 9 times out of 10, it's nothing because of you. They might think it's because of you, but it's because of like how they're feeling. It's because of the things that happen and things that build up in their head. So sometimes they think loads of negative things, and that happens, and they take it out on you, or this or that. And so we have to really be conscious and now thinking of, okay, this isn't personal. What that person did towards me, what my parents, what my friends, what this in the classroom, what this teacher did to me was not personal, was not because of me, but because of them. Them because of their misunderstanding of what dyslexia or who I learn or how who I am, or sorry, how I learn. It's down to them being like ignorant, not down to me being silly or stupid or embarrassing or can't do this or can't do that. And this takes work. This takes looking back. This takes willingness to observe yourself, willingness to step outside yourself and look back and think, okay, I can fix this. And you know what? After you get a bit of momentum, after you're like, okay, I want to do this, it takes no effort because you have so much motivation, because you realize at the end of this, you would feel so much more better about yourself. At the end of this, you could do so much more than you've done before. And I remember that's what really motivated me to really work on these things, to overcome my challenges. And now I'm at a point where I'd never let my dyslexia stop. The reason why I'm in Thailand because I'm teaching kids English, unbelievable. Like, I would never be in a pastor course teaching kids English, all of that. And yeah, I'm statistically one of the worst dyslexics in England. I may not be diagnosed with that now because I've worked on my English a lot, but yet still my brain is still the same. I just developed it and changed it in certain ways. So guys, it all starts with this. It all starts with taking one step at a time. And one thing we have to really focus on is that we have trauma from our past. Don't be scared to look at it. Look at it blankly in the face and come up against it saying, okay, I want to deal with you. I'm going to take you on because I'm not going to let you stop me. I'm not going to let my dyslexia stop me in any possible way. And that's what conquering your dyslexia means. Not letting dyslexia stop you in any way and actually using the advantages that it gives you in your life. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you all again very, very, very soon. Please take my advice. I'll see you again. Bye-bye, guys. See you again, and bye-bye again. I'm bad at endings. Bye-bye.